Today we're going to replace the case on an NDS Phat. There's nothing wrong with this case. I've just been looking at the same old blue for quite a while and I'm tired of looking at it. So we need a tri-wing screwdriver to do this, and a small Phillips. A small straight screwdriver doesn't help either, and maybe something like a toothpick. First we take this battery cover off. We remove the battery. And we set that aside. Then we need to take out 6 tri-wing screws, which are here, 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 and here. Which actually has 7 screws. Okay. I've already taken out the other 6. Now we lift this portion off gently, set it aside. I like to put my screws on it so I know what size went where and who went what. Now the fun part. We actually have to unclip some cables in here, and it's not an easy thing to do. First thing we want to do is get this cable here. I like to use a toothpick. A lot of people use a screwdriver, but the toothpick will give before the cable does, so I would think. So we pop that little piece up, and we gently, and very gently, pull this cable out. Underneath this cable we have 2 more, which you can see here and here. Now these just actually push out. They're actually rather hard to see, especially when you got eyes like mine. In fact, there is some difficulty removing them. So you pry your little clip back, then you remove your cable. Gently, gently, gently. Our other cable is here. And we'll zoom in on that. We have to remove it much the same way. We actually pop the clip up and gently, gently, very gently pull the cable out. These cables are very sensitive. I did a DS Lite not long ago, and now I have to replace the screen and solder the speakers back on it because I was just a little bit too rough with my cable. So you want to be very gentle and take your time and don't get in a hurry. No reason to be in a hurry. Okay, now that part's done. Now, we have some screws we have to take out here. First, I'm going to pull these out. Apparently I'm not. No, I'm not. We also have to remove this cable here. This is for your Wi-Fi antenna. This little cable right here. These are actually a little more difficult to remove than you would imagine. You really got to be a little bit rough with these simply to be able to get them off. So there's that. Okay. Now we need to remove some screws here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that we have to remove. They're regular Phillips screwdrivers, very small screwdriver. So we shall remove that. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we can actually remove this entire section. Gently as usual. We don't want to pinch these cables or lose any springs or anything like that. And there we have the board. So, set it aside as well. I'm going to remove my pads here for all my buttons. And that one took the D-pad with it. As you can see, been on there quite some time. We want to remove these gently. We have a spring behind them. It fits right there on that lug. I'll remove this one. And then we have the top part just about down to where we want it. Of course, this cable's going through here. So I'll gently peel this padding back to release this cable. Oh, it's got a sticky piece on it too. Remove the Wi-Fi antenna, remove it out of the way. And I want to ever so gently pull this cable off. It's got adhesive right there. And then our screen lifts right out. This is our touchscreen side, so this is your touchscreen. It's stuck on there with a piece of very, very sticky black material. I'm not replacing any of that, so I'm going to leave it as it is. And I'm going to set my screen to the side. Now we'll get the rest of our buttons out of here. Guess I should maybe look at them so I remember what goes where. A, B, X, Y. Okay. Suppose I could have just flipped it over, but too late now. I want to be very careful with these cables, as I said before. So I'm going to put them over here while we disassemble the top. To disassemble the top, we have to remove these 4 protective covers. And actually we need a razor blade for that, so I have to go get a razor blade. Okay, so I've used a razor knife to pry these small black covers off. I left one here just to demonstrate. You can use a razor knife. Sometimes it's easier just to use a very, very, very small straight screwdriver and go underneath it. Since I'm replacing the case, I'm not really that concerned with the cosmetics of these old ones. If I was, I'd definitely be a little more careful because I just tore that one. But these have been on this DS for quite a long time. So it's no wonder that they're a bit finicky. So with those removed, our next step is to remove the 4 screws we just exposed. They're Phillips screws. Just regular old Phillips screws. So we remove 4 of those. Okay. I'll set those 4 screws aside so I know where they go. And we'll stick this cable through here. Carefully, we'll close our case. We'll flip it over and we'll begin to gently work it apart. Because although it's screwed, it does have clips, and if you break those clips, it really affects the looks of your DS. Okay, then we'll remove this piece. Set it aside. I'm going to set my screws from tearing it apart into there, so I'll know they actually held all that together. And we're going to set it to the side. Now inside here, I'll make sure this cable isn't going to get pinched or anything underneath it. Whoop, didn't sound too good. Come on now, get in there. Underneath here we have our speakers, we have our Wi-Fi, various other parts. First thing we're going to do is to remove our Wi-Fi here. Very small screw. Excuse me. And we also have to remove this screw here, so we can disconnect these cables. So, I'll take this on very, very, very carefully. Lay it over to expose. It's not fun. These two clips here, which release just like the previous clips we had, where we pop the black piece up, although these are a bit more difficult because they're not really attached to anything for you to pop. So it makes it a bit more difficult. There's one. Pull it out gently. And hopefully sooner or later we'll get this one too. Aha. There's two. Oh, and then we also have another one. Forgot about you, little booger. And I believe my old toothpicks had it, so I think I'm going to have to switch to a small screwdriver, which I hate to do, but I believe it's quite necessary. And if this looks very aggravating, it's because it is a bit. Like I say, don't get frustrated and don't get in a hurry. Oh, not yet. There we go. Okay. Now I have these two pieces. And we also have this little Wi-Fi antenna here that we need to remove. So we'll flip our DS over right quick and we'll feed this out through the hole. Looking at this, I'm not paying much attention to my camera work. Okay.